Welcome to the Patreon exclusive show brought to you by the Back Asswards podcast.
New and improved.
I know it. New camera angles, right?
I know. A new camera.
Oh, right. Kyle got a new camera.
Hello.
And this is what leads us to We Are the Back Asswards Boys. I'm Arden. I use he, him pronouns. And joining me from our beautiful Utah studios, my good friend Kyle.
Hello, I'm Kyle. I use he, they pronouns. And Arden and I both have no idea where to look now. So,
Dude, this shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. And I don't know if you guys could tell by our last video or from all of the changes that you've seen on the feed, but we're actually trying some actually new things right now. And so
and it feels so weird.
It's so weird. This video, I think, is going to be really fun for you guys as the patrons. So,
yeah. And longtime viewers will also know that this is a revisit of a topic this week.
This is from the old feed, folks. This is the old feed shit.
Do you want to let them know what we're doing this week?
This shit is a fucking disaster. It is time for your Wednesday phenomenon, folks. And tonight, Kyle is going to be telling us about the Bone Wars.
Yes, I personally was not happy with the first take, so we're doing a redo on this one. I think the visual medium will definitely help a lot.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, we're super excited to take the leap with this one. But before we get into that, guys, we're not changing the entire format. You do still get your activation word, and this week your activation word comes from The Life of the Tsar, or The File on the Tsar, excuse me, by Anthony Summers and Tom Mangold.
I see. Okay.
Yes, and your activation word this week: Russian.
Russian. Yeah. Yeah, definitely one that the CIA would use. Russian.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, if Russian was the activation word for Manchurian candidates, the CIA would not exist.
Oh, it would last 5 minutes, yeah.
Now go do what you were born to do, what you know you were born to do. That part can be intense, all right? You look at me. Look in my eyes. Look in Kyle's eyes. Look back into my eyes. Look in Kyle's eyes.
Don't look at him. Don't look at me.
Go do what you were born to do, what you know you were born to do. And now, folks, it is time for something that is exclusive on the Wednesday Phenomena, and that is our icebreakers. And Kyle, here's the thing, Kyle. I usually don't ask you questions like this that are so disruptive.
Okay. Oh, no.
But I thought that a nice icebreaker would be, would you rather have your entire internet history search
The other one.
or have every text you've ever sent be made public? Dude, this one, I don't think I can answer this one either. This one is terrible.
Oh, I'm cooked either way. I'm cooked either way, dude.
So fucking done, dude.
Because I really don't need everyone knowing that I Googled how to spell chrysanthemum. You know what I mean? Can't even say it, let alone spell it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but I also don't need my dramatic ass texts from when I was 13. Oh boy.
That's the part that really got me, because I was like, not my internet search history, but then the every text I've ever sent, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, no way.
I think I'm taking the gun. You just shoot me, honestly.
The silent third option.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going with, I mean, either way, it's the worst fucking day. I think I'm going with the texts.
I gotta go texts, unfortunately.
Yeah, not the internet, dude. No.
Y'all stay the fuck away from that.
You don't need to know, I promise.
Yeah. No, you don't want to know. But before we get into it, guys, I will list our sources for the episode this week. And of course, the first stop on the research train is our good friend Wikipedia.
Because we stand Wikipedia on this podcast.
Absolutely. If you find yourself in the financial situation to do so, go ahead and throw them a few bucks. I am sure they can use it. I used their article on the Bone Wars. I also used an article from thoughtco.com titled The 19th Century Bone Wars, and an article from WTTW Chicago titled Two Paleontologists Who Had a Bone to Pick with Each Other.
Yeah, that is what I remember from this outline.
Yes.
Now, despite listing our sources and despite changing up the format and changing up the camera angles, I do have to say that we are not scholars, okay? And we're probably going to get some things wrong. And we are also not linguists, and we're probably going to say some things wrong. There are a lot of people's names in this one.
And dinosaur babes. There's some Latin.
Dinosaurs. Yes.
I'm nervous.
Now, hold on to your asses, because things are about to get backwards.
When most people think of the Wild West, they picture Buffalo Bill, Jesse James, and caravans of settlers in covered wagons. But for paleontologists, the American West in the late 19th century conjures up one image above all others: the enduring rivalry between two of the country's greatest fossil hunters, Othniel C. Marsh and Edward Drinker Cope. The Bone Wars, as their feud became known, stretched from the 1870s well into the 1890s. These Bone Wars resulted in hundreds of new dinosaur finds, not to mention various acts of bribery, trickery, and outright theft, as we will get to later.
Yeah, this gets a little hairy, you could say.
A little bit. A little
Yeah.
scaly, maybe.
Oh, I see you.
Edward Drinker Cope and Othniel. How do you fucking say that name?
Othniel?
Othniel? We'll go with Othniel. This is one that there wasn't a lot of audio on. Sorry. Othniel Charles Marsh had a relatively friendly connection initially.
Okay.
In 1864, they met in Berlin and spent several days together, even naming species of dinosaurs that they discovered after each other. Rather romantic, you might say.
So cute, dude. I love it.
Their relationship obviously deteriorated over time, owing in part to their opposing personalities. Cope was noted for his bravado and quick temper, whereas Marsh was slower, more methodical, and introverted. Both were squabbling and distrusting, especially of each other. Cope was a staunch believer in neo-Lamarckism, the belief that animals can pass down acquired traits, i.e., if an animal had perchance lost a toe, there's a chance that its offspring might not have toes, right?
Right.
Whereas Marsh believed in Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection.
Controversial.
Maybe, especially at the time. Even at their best, both men subtly tended to look down on each other. As one observer put it, quote,
"The patrician Edward may have considered Marsh not quite a gentleman. The academic Othniel probably regarded Cope as not quite a professional."
Cope and Marsh came from very different backgrounds. Cope was born into a wealthy and influential Quaker family based in Philadelphia. Although his father wanted his son to work as a farmer, Cope distinguished himself as a naturalist. In 1864, already a member of the Academy of Natural Sciences, Cope became professor of zoology at Haverford College and joined Ferdinand Hayden on his expeditions to the West. In contrast, Marsh would have grown up poor, the son of a struggling family in Lockport, New York, had it not been for the benefaction of his uncle, philanthropist George Peabody.
Really?
Yeah, he had a wealthy uncle that paid his way.
That
lucked
George
out.
Peabody.
Yes, that
Mm.
George Peabody. Marsh persuaded his uncle to build the Peabody Museum of Natural History, placing Marsh at the head of the museum. Nepo baby status.
Yes.
Combined with the inheritance that he received from Peabody upon his death in 1869, Marsh was financially comfortable, although, partially because of Peabody's stern views on marriage, Marsh would remain a lifelong bachelor. On one occasion, the two scientists had gone on a fossil collecting expedition to Cope's stone pits in New Jersey, where William Parker Fulk had discovered the holotype specimen of, here we go, Hadrosaurus fluki.
What is that? Hadrosaurus fulci?
Hadrosaurus fulki,
Wow.
a dinosaur. Arden, if he can find a picture, we'll put it here.
Yes. We can put it right there. Let's also put it like right here.
Perfect. This was originally described by the paleontologist Joseph Leidy, under whom Cope had studied comparative anatomy. This was actually one of the very first American dinosaur finds, and everyone thought that these pits were still rich with fossils to be discovered.
And boy,
Man,
were they.
the two originally parted amicably. Marsh secretly bribed the pit operators to divert future fossil finds to him instead of Cope, who owned the mine. The two began attacking each other in papers and publications, and their personal relations deteriorated.
Dude, they're literally tweeting at each other, dude.
They're literally subtweeting each other in academic papers. Yeah. Marsh humiliated Cope by pointing out that his reconstruction of the plesiosaur Elasmosaurus was flawed, with the head placed where the tail should have been, or so he claimed. 20 years later, it was actually Leidy who published the correction shortly afterwards. Cope, in turn, began collecting in what Marsh considered his own private bone collecting turf in Kansas and Wyoming, which further damaged their relationship.
I just imagine him like standing on the edge of the state line to Wyoming and being like, I'll do it. His foot, like a Looney Tune, is
Yeah,
like
just-
about to cross over on the other side of the line.
It does the boop.
I'll do it.
I'm doing it. Don't you dare.
All these dinosaurs pop out of the ground.
Move over to the other side of the
For
border.
real, dude.
In the 1870s, Cope's and Marsh's professional attention was directed to the American West by word of large fossil finds. Using his influence in Washington, D.C., Cope was granted a position on the U.S. Geological Survey, which we will call the USGS from here on out, under Ferdinand Hayden. While the position offered no salary, it did afford Cope a great opportunity to collect fossils in the West and to publish his finds.
What a dream, dude.
Right? Honestly.
We're not gonna pay you, but you can find all the dinosaur bones
is.
you want.
It is take as many dinosaur bones as you can carry. Sew extra pockets on your pants, because boy howdy, are you going to need them, you know?
Right.
Cope's flair for dramatic writing suited Hayden, who needed to make a popular impression with the official survey reports that he would be publishing. In June of 1872, Cope set off on his first trip, intending to observe the Eocene bone beds of Wyoming for himself. This caused a rift between Cope, Hayden, and Leidy. See, Leidy had enjoyed receiving many of the fossils from Hayden's collection until Cope joined the survey. And now Cope was hunting for fossils in Leidy's staked territory, at the same time that Leidy was set to be collecting. Hayden attempted to smooth things over with Leidy in a letter, saying, quote,
I asked him not to go into that field, that you were going there. He laughed at the idea of being restricted to any locality and said he intended to go whether I aided him or not. I was anxious to secure the cooperation of such a worker as an honor to my corps. I could not be responsible for the field he selected as I paid him no salary and a portion of his expenses. You will see, therefore, that while it is not a pleasant thing to work in competition with others, it seems almost a necessity. You can sympathize.
listen, man, I'm not even paying him, so, like, I'm only so in charge.
I just brought the guy here, dude. I don't know.
I get that it sucks that you have competition now, but like, deal with it.
Someone's got to find the bones.
Find him first. Get good.
Find them faster. Just be better at finding the bones. Get good.
Cope took his family with him as far as Denver, while Hayden tried to keep Cope and Leedy from prospecting in the same area. Following a trip from the geologist Fielding Bradfoot Meek, Cope also intended to investigate reports of bones Meek had found near Black Butts Station and the railroad. Buttes, oh dear lord.
Buttes. I think that's Buttes, my guy. My friend.
The bones Meek had found near Black Buttes Station and the railroad.
Yes, thank you.
Cope found the site and some skeletal remains of a dinosaur that he dubbed Agathomus. God Lord.
Agathomus
Agathomus
sylvestris.
Sylvestris, which Arden will put right here.
And then right here.
Believing he had the full support of Hayden and the USGS, Cope then traveled to Fort Bridger in June, only to find that the men, wagons, horses, and equipment that he expected were not there.
He shows up and nobody's there.
All right, boys, time to head west.
He wakes up, puts on a pot
Boys.
of coffee, makes himself pancakes. He's like, I can't fucking wait my first fucking day. I'm not making a dime today, and I don't give a shit, dude. Yeah. Just shows up.
What?
Where are you? I sent out the invites. I put the stamps up. I know I put the stamps on them because these are my special birthday stamps that my mom gave me. For my,
Everybody RSVP.
they said they would go.
How they felt when no one showed up to Area 51. The government.
But I thought we were gonna get to kill you all.
They said that they said that we couldn't stop them. I wanted to try. However, Culp, being rather industrious, was able to cobble together an outfit at his own expense, consisting of 2 teamsters, a cook, and a guide, along with 3 men from Chicago who were interested in studying with him. As it turned out, 2 of Cope's men were in fact in the employ of Marsh at the time. The 2 of the men that had said they were that had RSVP'd that they were gonna be there actually went to go work for Marsh instead.
That's fucking crazy.
When the rival paleontologist found out that his men were taking Cope's money, he was furious. While the men tried to assure Marsh that they were still his men, and one even suggested that he took the job in order to lead Cope away from the good fossils. Marsh's laziness in soliciting firm agreements and payments may have caused them to seek other work.
I just love the idea of one of them being like, boss, look.
Listen, you don't understand. Hey, boss, listen. I can fix this. This is an easy, simple problem, simple solutions, you know.
Boss, I see how you get there. I do. But listen, I was gonna take up down with the shitty fossils.
You know
with the fishes.
You know those little flies that are in like that wax? That's what I'm gonna take them to.
You know, in like 200 years, there's gonna be a film called Jurassic Park, all right?
He's like,
then I can make money off of both of y'all.
I'm burning the candle of both. Money's making money, baby. I got this idea. It's called Doge.
oh my God.
Cope's journey took the expedition through a rugged country that only Hayden had previously surveyed, and he had at the time discovered dozens of new species of dinosaur. Meanwhile, one of Marsh's men accidentally forwarded some of his material to Cope instead of
Boss, listen, you gotta understand, it was an honest mistake. I mean, I work for the guy, huh? He's my boss, huh?
Listen, honestly, it's on your cataloging system.
You taught me so well, I got him the good shit.
You're so good at finding fossils, there's no bad ones to send him.
Although, to his credit, upon receiving the fossils and noting the mistake, Cope sent them back to Marsh, but the damage had already been done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
From
it's game
Marsh's
over.
perspective.
Yeah. No, it's done.
The two scientists' attention turned to the Dakota Territory in the mid 1870s, where the discovery of gold in the Black Hills increased Native American tensions with the United States, among other things. Marsh, desiring the fossils found in that region, became embroiled in U.S. Army Native American politics. In order to gain the support of Chief Red Cloud of the Sioux to prospect, Marsh promised Red Cloud payment for fossils collected and that he would return to Washington, D.C. and lobby on their behalf about their improper treatment. In the end, Marsh slipped out of camp and, according to his own probably romanticized accounts, amassed cartloads of fossils and retreated just before a hostile native party arrived.
What?
Like literally action movie shit. Like flaming
So-
arrows landing in the cart,
So he goes in there and he's like, "Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna go back to Washington D.C. and make sure that these guys in the government take care of you." And then he steals a bunch of their shit and fucking dips.
He said he was gonna go and lobby for them in exchange for
Mm,
the shit.
mm.
And for his part, Marsh did lobby the Interior Department and President Ulysses S. Grant on behalf of Red Cloud, even if his motives were more to make a name for himself against the unpopular administration at the time than it was for any kind of human rights purposes. By 1875, both Cope and Marsh paused in their collecting, feeling the financial strain and needing to catalog their backlogged finds. But new discoveries would return them to the West before the end of the decade. In 1877, Marsh received a letter from Arthur Lakes, a schoolteacher in Golden, Colorado. Lakes reported that he had been hiking in the mountains near the town of Morrison when his friend and himself, H.C. Beckwith, discovered massive bones embedded into the rock. Lakes further advised that the bones were, quote,
Apparently a vertebra and a humerus bone of some gigantic lizard.
now how he knew it was the bone of a lizard?
I mean,
I mean,
it's anybody's guess, right?
but while awaiting Marsh's reply, Lakes dug up more of these colossal bones and sent them to New Haven. As Marsh was slow to respond, Lakes also sent a shipment of the bones to Cope.
No,
Not good, dude.
So bad, so bad. Dude, it's like they're trying to get them to fight.
He
It's
was
like,
literally egging him on, dude.
how do we poke the bear?
For
How do we
real.
get the Kardashians to do something?
How do we poke the Stegosaurus?
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
When Marsh responded to Lakes, he paid the prospector $100, urging him to keep his finds a secret.
Tell Cope
Don't tell-
anyone.
Learning that Lakes had corresponded with Cope, Marsh sent his field collector, Benjamin Mudge, to Morrison to secure Lake's services. Marsh published a description of Lake's discoveries in the American Journal of Science on July 1st, and before Cope could publish his interpretation of the finds, Lake would write to him saying that the bones should be shipped to Marsh, a severe insult to Cope.
He's like,
You're not even worth receiving the bones anymore.
A second letter arrived from the West, this time addressed directly to Cope. The writer, O.W. Lucas, was a naturalist who had been collecting plants near Cannon City, Colorado, when he came upon an assortment of fossilized bones. After receiving more samples from Lucas, Cope concluded that the dinosaurs were large herbivores, gleefully noting that the specimen was larger than any other previously described, including Lake's discovery. Hearing of Lucas's finds, Marsh instructed Mudge and a former student, Samuel Wendell Wilston, to set up a quarry on his behalf near Cannon. Unfortunately for Marsh, he learned from Williston that Lucas was finding the best bones and refused to quit Cope to come work for Marsh. Marsh ordered Williston back to Morrison, where Marsh's small quarry collapsed and nearly killed his assistants. This setback would have dried up Marsh's bone supply from the west, were it not for the receipt of a third letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from.
Hey!
At the time of Lake's discoveries, the first transcontinental railroad was being built through the remote area of Wyoming. Marsh's letter was from two men identifying themselves as Harlow and Edwards, allegedly workers on the Union Pacific Railroads.
What?
Their real names were William Harlow Reed and William Edwards Carlin.
Ah, Bill and Bill.
Bill and Bill. Yes. The two men claimed that they had found large numbers of fossils in Como Bluff and warned that there were others in the area looking for such things, which March took to meant Cope. Williston, who just wearily arrived in Kansas after the collapse of the Morrison mine, was quickly dispatched to Como Bluff by Marsh. Literally, dude had just survived a cave-in, and he was like, I don't care. Go.
He's gonna get the bones. You gotta go.
You gotta get out of here, man. You gotta go.
You gotta give me them bones.
Don't worry about us. Get out of here.
His former student sent back a message confirming the large quantity of bones and that it was Cope's men snooping around the area. Weary of repeating the same mistakes he had with Lakes, Marsh quickly sent money to the two new bone hunters and urged them to send him all additional fossils. Williston struck a preliminary bargain with Carlin and Reed, who had been unable to cash Marsh's check due to it being made out in their pseudonyms rather than their actual legal names. But Carlin decided that he would head to New Haven to deal with Marsh directly. Marsh drew up a contract calling for a set monthly fee with additional cash bonuses to Carlin and Reed possible, depending on the importance of finds that they made. They were getting a per diem and an additional fee for any awesome finds. Like, that's a pretty good setup, honestly.
It's not too bad.
Marsh also reserved the right to send his own superintendents to supervise the digging if any was needed, and advised the men to keep Cope out of the region. Despite having a face-to-face meeting, Carlin failed to negotiate better terms from Marsh. The paleontologist procured Carlin and Reed's services, but seeds of resentment were already sown, as the bone hunters felt that Marsh had bullied them into the deal without any negotiation. Marsh's investment in the Como Bluff region soon procured very rich results. While Marsh's own collections headed east for the winter, Reed sent cartloads of bones by rail to Marsh throughout 1877. Marsh described and named dinosaurs such as the Stegosaurus, the Allosaurus, and the Apatosaurus in December of 1877 issue of the American Journal of Science.
Let's go.
Some heavy hitters in that one, dude.
Some biggies. Yeah.
And some largies, too. Despite Marsh's precautions against alerting his rival to the Como Bluffs' rich bone beds, word of the discoveries rapidly spread. This was at least partially due to Carlin and Reed helping spread the rumors themselves. They leaked information to the Laramie Daily Sentinel, which published an article about the finds in April of 1878 that exaggerated the price Marsh had paid for the bones, possibly to raise prices and demand for more bones. Marsh, attempting to cover the leak, learned from Williston that Carlin and Reed had been visited by a man, ostensibly working for Cope, by the name of Haynes. After learning of the Como Bluff discoveries, Cope sent dinosaur rustlers to the area in an attempt to quietly steal fossils from under Marsh's nose.
Don't find anything. Just steal this
They
guy's
already
shit.
got him out of the ground. The hard work's done. You just gotta get him, dude. Show me to me.
Show me to me, please.
I didn't go my bluff. Show me to me.
During the winter of 1878, Carlin's dissatisfaction with Marsh's sporadic sending of payment reached a head, and so he switched teams and began working for Cope instead.
Hey, fucking pay me, dude.
Some of these other guys, they're here for the work experience. I'm here to get paid. I got groceries, dude. Cope and Marsh used their personal wealth to fund expeditions every summer, then spent the winter publishing their discoveries. Small armies of fossil hunters in mule-drawn wagons or trains were soon sending tons, literal tons, of fossils back east. The paleontological digs lasted for 15 years, from 1877 to 1892. The workers for both Cope and Marsh suffered hardships related to weather, as well as sabotage and obstruction by other scientists' workers. Reed was locked out of the Como train station by Carlin and was forced to haul the bones down the bluff and crate the specimens on the train platform in the bitter cold himself. Cope directed Carlin to set up his own quarry in Como Bluff, while Marsh sent Reed to spy on his former friend. As Reed's quarry number 4 dried up, Marsh ordered Reed to clear out any bone fragments from the other quarries, not even allowing a scrap of a find. Reed reported that he had destroyed all of the remaining bones to keep them away from Cope, rather than literally, if it wasn't a full find, they were just destroying it.
This isn't even about science anymore, dude.
Oh, no, it honestly really was never about
Mhm.
science, and maybe we'll
Yeah.
talk about that a little more.
Dude,
at the end, but
they were naming dinosaurs after each other and
that
shit.
started
Dude, they were the perfect couple. I
started
don't
out with
understand.
a kiss. How did it end up like this?
Exactly.
Concerned that strangers were encroaching on Reed's quarries, Marsh sent Lakes to Como to assist in excavations, and in June of 1879 visited Como himself. Cope, likewise, toured his own quarries in August of the same year. Although Marsh's men continued to open new quarries and discover more fossils, relations between Lakes and Reed soured, with each offering his resignation in August of 1879, excuse me. Marsh attempted to placate the two by sending each to opposite ends of their quarries, but after being forced to abandon one bone quarry in a freezing blizzard, Lakes submitted his resignation and returned to teaching in 1880.
So separating the two troublemakers did not make it better. Putting them at separate desks.
Yeah,
did
moving
not
their
help.
desks did not do anything for this one, unfortunately.
So sad. When it
And-
is a classic move.
Yeah, and even more sad, Lake's departure did really nothing at all to ease tensions among Marsh's men.
Hmm.
Lake's replacement, a railroad man named Kennedy, felt that he did not have to report to Reed, and the fighting between the two caused Marsh's other workers to quit. I mean, we've all been there, right? You get a new manager and it absolutely just tanks your job, you know?
Yeah, and you're just like,
Oh.
nope.
Yep, actually, I'm good. I'll
I
go
wanna
work
listen
somewhere
to-
else for
yeah.
the same amount of money. I'm chill. Thank you. It's
Mhm.
been fun. As the 1880s progressed, Marsh had more operational quarries than Cope at this point. Cope, who in the early 1880s had more bones than he could fit in a single house, had fallen behind in the race for dinosaurs.
A fall from grace.
Bro had a house full of dinosaurs.
Didn't he had a wonderful boyfriend who was naming dinosaurs after it? It was so cute.
It was so cute and they were so gay. While Cope and Marsh dueled for fossils in the American West, they also tried their best to ruin each other's professional credibility. Humiliated by his error in reconstructing the plesiosaur Elasmosaurus, Cope tried to cover up his mistake by purchasing every copy he could find of the journal in which it was published.
He went to every store.
It was literally the Disney Channel movie plotline.
I'll take them all.
Tried to buy, I'll buy all of them.
I'll
I
take them
can't
all.
let my mom see that I was at this party. Meanwhile, Marsh made sure to publicize the story in as many papers as he could find. Cope's own rapid and prestigious output of scientific papers meant that Marsh had no difficulty in finding occasional errors with which to lambast Cope. Marsh himself was not infallible. Like we said before, he mixed up the tail and head end of a dinosaur,
And he also put the skull of a brachiosaurus on the skeleton of a brontosaurus. Like a fucking idiot.
What is he thinking? Even I. Even I. No, I actually don't know. I have no idea what a brachiosaurus is.
I couldn't. No, I don't know. Brachiosaurus from Adam. My
And I
friend.
know that I should know what a brontosaurus is, but it is slipping my mind.
Is that the long neck
Yeah,
one?
it's the long neck. It's probably not, now that I sounded so confident saying that.
It's the long neck one.
Oh, thank God. Okay, but what's a brachiosaurus?
Wait, Brachiosaurus has a long neck. Wait,
Wait, hold on.
wait, hold on. We
Wait,
might
hold
want to
on.
add to the disclaimer we are not paleontologists.
Well, I guess just so that you guys can follow along our train of thought here. Here's a brachiosaurus, right? Look at this.
Right.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Beautiful, long neck.
Oh, and he's
Right.
got the mohawk. Right.
Mhm. Now, what happens when I type in brontosaurus? Long neck. What's going on here?
Oh, I see the difference. Oh.
There is a difference. Oh, these ones seem to be much taller.
Yeah. They were more long than they were tall.
I thought this was Littlefoot, though. I thought the brontosaurus, that thing fucking never go to heaven. You know what I
I guess
mean?
it was actually a Brachiosaurus.
I guess it's the brachiosaurus. Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh, I hope that on the screen the entire time it's been flashing. We are not scholars.
We are not paleontologists. We are not archaeologists.
Nothing like that.
Nothing.
By the late 1880s, public attention to the fighting between Cope and Marsh had faded, drawn to international stories rather than the more local scope of the Wild West. Thanks to John Wesley Powell, head of the USGS, and Marsh's contacts with the rich and powerful in Washington, Marsh was placed at the head of the Consolidated Government Survey and was happy to be out of the sensationalist spotlight. Cope was much less well off, having spent most of his money purchasing the American Naturalist, and had a hard time finding employment thanks to Marsh's allies in higher education and his own sour temperament. Cope began investing in gold and silver prospects in the West and braved malarial mosquitoes and harsh weather to search for fossils by hand himself the old-fashioned way.
Wow, just a man and his hands in the land, you know?
Yeah, but due to pretty significant mining setbacks and a lack of support from the federal government, Cope's financial situation deteriorated to the point that his fossil collection was his only significant asset. Marsh, meanwhile, alienated even his loyal assistants, including Williston, with his refusal to share his conclusions drawn from their findings and his continually lax and infrequent pay schedule. Cope's chance to exploit Marsh's vulnerabilities came in 1884, when Congress began to investigate the proceedings of the Consolidated Geological Survey. Cope had become friends with Henry Fairfield Osborn, then a professor of anatomy at Princeton University. Osborn was, like Marsh in many ways, slow and methodical, but would prove a damaging influence on Marsh. Cope searched for disgruntled workers who would speak out against Powell and the survey. For the moment, Powell and Marsh were able to successfully refute Cope's charges, and his allegations did not end up reaching the mainstream press. Osborne seemed reluctant to step up his campaign against Marsh, so Cope turned to another ally that he mentioned to Osborne, a newspaperman from New York named William Jose Ballou. Despite setbacks in trying to oust Marsh from his presidency of the National Academy of Sciences, Cope received a tremendous financial boost after the University of Pennsylvania offered him a teaching gig.
Let's go.
Yeah, you know, you can't do Teach. Cope's chance to strike a critical blow at Marsh appeared soon after. Over the years, Cope kept an elaborate journal of mistakes and misdeeds that Marsh and Powell had committed. Was literally plotting their downfall. The mistakes and errors of the men were put into writing and stored in the bottom of a drawer in Cope's desk. Ballou planned the first set of articles in what would become a series of newspaper debates between Marsh, Powell, and Cope. While the scientific community had long known of Marsh and Cope's rivalry, the public became aware of the shameful conduct of the two men when the New York Herald published a story with the headline, "Scientists Wage Bitter Warfare." According to the author Elizabeth Noble Shore, the scientific community was galvanized, saying, quote,
Most scientists of the day recoiled to find that Cope's feud with Marsh had become front-page news. Those closest to the scientific fields under discussion, geology and vertebrate paleontology, certainly winced, particularly as they found themselves quoted, mentioned, or misspelled. The feud was not news to them, for it had lurked at their scientific meetings for 2 decades. Most of them had already taken sides. In the newspaper articles, Cope attacked Marsh for plagiarism and financial mismanagement, and attacked Powell for his geological classification errors and misspending of government-allocated funds. Shots are fired!
dude.
My guy!
This is a nerd fight, dude.
Dude, save some for the rest of us.
Oh, I know, dude. Marsh and Powell were able to publish their own side of the story, filing their charges against Cope. Ballou's articles were poorly researched, written, and read, and Cope himself was smarting for a piece in the Philadelphia Inquirer, which suggested that the University of Pennsylvania trustees would ask Cope to step down unless he provided proof for his charges against Marsh and Powell. Marsh himself kept the Herald story alive with a fiery rebuttal, but by the end of January, the story had faded from all the newspapers, and very little had changed between the bitter rivals.
I could have guessed that.
And maybe not so shockingly, in the end, no congressional hearing was convened to investigate the misallocation of funds by Powell, and neither Cope nor Marsh was held responsible for any of their mistakes, really, ever in their lives, ever.
That's fucking awesome.
But some of Ballou's charges against Marsh came to be associated with the survey. Facing anti-survey sentiment inflamed by Western drought and concerns about takeovers of abandoned Western homesteads, Powell found himself the subject of a larger scrutiny before the House Appropriations Committee. Galvanized to action by Marsh's perceived extravagance with survey funds, the Appropriations Committee demanded the survey's budget be itemized. When his appropriation was cut off in 1892, Powell sent a terse telegram to Marsh demanding his resignation, a personal slight as well as a financial one.
These guys' lives are falling apart. When are they going to realize that they are the best thing that ever happened to each other?
Kiss, dude.
Why can't I quit you? Or dig again?
God.
At the same time, many of Marsh's allies were retiring or had died, lessening his scientific credence. Just as Marsh's extravagant lifestyle was catching up with him, Cope received a position on the Texas Geological Survey. Cope's fortunes continued to look up through the early 1890s as he was promoted to Leedy's position as professor of zoology and was elected president of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, the same year that Marsh stepped down as the head of the Academy of Sciences. Towards the latter part of the decade, Cope's fortunes began to sour once more as Marsh regained some of his recognition, earning the Cuvier Medal, the highest paleontological award. Cope and Marsh's rivalry lasted until Cope died in 1897, by which time both men were financially ruined, finally on the same playing field. Cope issued a final challenge before his death.
Oh, hell no.
He had his skull donated to science so that his brain could be measured, hoping that his brain would be larger than that of his adversary. At the time, brain size was believed to be the main measure of intelligence. Now, Marsh didn't ever actually accept the challenge. So unfortunately, we won't ever really know.
You're
But
telling me that he wasn't down to have his brain measured after he was dead?
yeah, so I think we know. I think we know.
He's like, no,
I have a perfectly normal size brain.
You
In
don't
fact,
need
some
to.
people might say it's actually too big, honestly.
Some people say it's just the right size. You know?
Yeah, I've heard it's honestly kind of uncomfortable too if you're not ready for it. So,
I've heard that it's not really about what you have; it's how you use it.
Now, I will say though that Cope's skull is reportedly still preserved at the University of Pennsylvania. Whether the skull that is stored at the college is Cope's is disputed. The university stated that it believes the real skull was actually lost in the 1970s, although an author, Robert Baker, has said that the hairline fractures on the skull and coroner's reports verify the skull's authenticity.
Dude, we can't even hold on to one guy's skull. Can you imagine? Walt Disney's dead. His head's
Oh.
not frozen, you know?
Dude, that got left in the back of a pantry in 1994, dude. Some poor janitor was like, "What? Freaks."
They just fucking buzz him like,
Hey, Mikey, can you check out what's going on? In hallway 6.
Yeah, I think I found a prop for a Hannah Montana episode. Can you come check this out?
he walks in.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! This is for Disney!
Going purely off the numbers, Marsh won the Bone Wars. Both scientists made finds of immense scientific value. But while Cope discovered a total of 56 new dinosaur species, Marsh discovered the other 80.
Let's go, my guy.
In the later stages of the Bone Wars, Marsh simply had more men and money at his disposal than Cope. And Cope had a much broader set of paleontological interests, while Marsh almost exclusively pursued fossilized reptiles and mammals. Several of Cope's and Marsh's discoveries are among the most well-known dinosaurs of all time, encompassing species of
Triceratops, Allosaurus, Diplodocus, Stegosaurus, Camarasaurus, and Coleophysis.
Before Cope and Marsh's discoveries, there were only 9 named species of dinosaur in North America. The Bone Wars also led to the discovery of the first complete skeletons of dinosaurs and the rise in popularity of dinosaurs with the general public.
Dude, that shit is exciting, dude.
First complete dinosaur right here. Come look
That's
at it.
crazy, dude.
That
Are you
shit is
kidding me?
gas. Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah. Despite their advances, the Bone Wars also had a negative effect, not only on the two scientists, but also on their peers and the entire field as a whole. The public animosity between Cope and Marsh harmed the reputation of American paleontology in Europe for decades. And furthermore, the reported use of dynamite and sabotage by employees of both men may have harmed fossil remains, though later excavation suggests that some of the damage was exaggerated to dissuade competition. Joseph Leedy abandoned his more methodological
Methodical.
We are not linguists, dude. Holy shit.
Joseph Leedy abandoned his more methodical excavations in the West, finding he could not keep up with Cope and Marsh's reckless searching for bones. Leedy also grew tired of the constant squabbling between the two men, with the result that his withdrawal from the field marginalized his legacy. After his death, Osborne found not a single mention of the man in either of the rivals' works. In their haste to outdo each other, Cope and Marsh haphazardly assembled the bones of their discoveries. Their descriptions of new species, based on their reconstructions, led to confusions and misconceptions that lasted for decades. And that, my little dino dudes, is the story of the Bone Wars.
Yeah, let's go, Kyle. What a reality TV show ass
I mean,
looking.
it's so high school. It's so reality TV. You're right. It's so like coming of age comedy movie. It's all there.
It's Weekend at Bernie's a little bit vibe, you know.
Yeah,
Like
you've got some slapstick going.
Mhm.
You know, it's just yeah, it's so good.
them blowing up dynamite with dynamite, you know.
Like literally blowing up the scraps of the bones so that the other group can't find them is
No.
crazy work.
I
When you're a
know.
scientist, like
I
what
know.
do you mean? I guess scientist. We're talking about the late 1800s here, you know. But
I mean, hey.
Old timey scientists come for me in the comments. So damn.
You discovered the Triceratops, okay?
I don't know. I mean, obviously Marsh won, right? Just hands down in terms of the dinosaurs and shit, right?
just looking at the pure numbers, yeah. But I mean, they were both financially ruined, and really their reputation was ruined by the end of
Mhm.
this. So I mean, neither of them really came out on top. You know?
Yeah. But it also does seem like that this little frenzy that this petty reality TV show led to some
It's
of
good
the
for the
biggest
numbers, man.
discoveries.
Drama's
Yeah.
good for the numbers, you know.
Yeah. It really
The
is.
drama, it got a new generation interested in being paleontologists, you know.
Exactly.
And who knows? Without them, I might not have this dinosaur poop sitting on my
Yeah,
table
that is true. Kyle showed that to me
right
before we
now.
started recording. Well, thank you so much for watching tonight's episode of It is so wonderful to be here with you folks. It's so special to be here with you folks, to do this show for you folks, with you folks. If you are here, it means that you are a Manchurian candidate, and it means that you support us financially, and that means the world. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. You can totally listen to our previous. You can totally listen to our previous episodes for more. I would recommend our. You know what? I'm actually gonna go to an episode of the Back Asswards podcast. It's on the podcast feed. It's
Okay.
the Patreon preview before there was a Patreon, the Conch Republic.
The Conch Republic, yes.
Yeah, dude.
The first episode of the Wednesday phenomenon.
Yes, the
Yeah.
true first
The true
episode.
first episode, yeah.
Yes, episode
so good.
0.5, TWP 0.5.
TWP 0.5. Yeah.
I'm Arden,
I am Kyle.
and we will see you next week, unless
Unless.
you hire a bunch of paleontologists to discover bones for you,
Mhm.
right? And when you do that, just make sure that you pay them on time so that they don't quit, so that you can stay safe.
And when you do pay these paleontologists on time, make sure that you don't actually pay them to find new bones. Make sure that you're actually just paying them to steal the bones from the other paleontologists and then have them blow up their campsite on the way out so that you can stay weird.
The danger is real, my friends. There are paleontologists blowing up quarries
Dynamite.
for a petty dispute between two other men.
This isn't modern safe dynamite. This is old timey made in a shed dynamite. You don't want to mess with this.
Kyle.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm your dad when you come home late.
Smelling like cigarettes. Oh god, there's your fucking clip. Holy shit.